Because all this goes back to a massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Mount Tambora blew its top in 1815, and the fallout circled the globe. Literally, it blocked out sunlight, dropped temperatures, and turned 1816 into the year without a summer. Crops failed, animals died, people starved. Europe and North America froze while Tambora just smoldered from a distance like the world's rudest houseguest. In Germany, it meant famine. People ground up acorns, bark, and even straw to stretch out what little food they had. And somewhere in all the misery, someone thought, hey, we should make a medal about this. Welcome back to Coin Story, the show where metal talks and history listens. I'm your host, Pete, your numismatic time traveling guide. Today, we go back in time to a very unhappy place. We're looking at a medal that's not here to celebrate kings or victories. No, this is one here to remind you that life can be cold, cruel, and very, very carb deficient. Let's talk about the Famine Medal, or as the French call jeton. From 1816 to 1817, on the obverse, we see a mother and her two children not smiling, not frolicking. They look like they'd give anything for a piece of rye toast. Above the inscription in German, "Oh, give me bread. I am hungry." Subtle, powerful, absolutely. Below the scene, the engravers left their mark: Stettner and Etten. Because when you immortalize misery in metal, you want the credit. Now flip it over to the reverse, and things don't cheer up much. There's an anchor and a pair of scales, possibly symbols of hope and balance, or just props in history's saddest life. And then there are prices. One mob of beer cost 8.5 kronen. A pound of three lots of bread, 12 kronen. That's like paying $30 for a half a pretzel. You didn't buy bread, you took out a loan. And right in the middle is this bronze grocery list is a spiritual pick-me-up. Translation in German: do not despair, God still lives. You can almost hear someone whispering while they pawn your boots for soup. Stamped with the years 1816 and 1817, this medal came out of Nuremberg, Germany, from the El Shar Lauer Mint. And it wasn't celebrating a moment, it was surviving one. Because all this goes back to a massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Mount Tambora blew its top in 1815, and the fallout circled the globe. Literally, it blocked out sunlight, dropped temperatures, and turned 1816 into the year without a summer. Crops failed, animals died, people starved. Europe and North America froze while Tambora just smoldered from a distance like the world's rudest houseguest. In Germany, it meant famine. People ground up acorns, bark, and even straw to stretch out what little food they had. And somewhere in all the misery, someone thought, hey, we should make a medal about this. It's a strange thing, really, to take a metal and mold it into pain, but it also preserved the truth. This little round piece of bronze is history that you can hold, and history that doesn't let you forget. And that kind of hunger didn't vanish when the sun came back. It echoed forward in time in different ways. I remember my grandmother would talk about how my father wanted to become a baker after World War II had ended. Germany lay in ruins and food was scarce. He didn't really want to bake things, he just wanted a steady source of food. In post war Germany, there wasn't much to eat. That story stuck with me. It makes me reflect on how lucky we are that starvation isn't really an issue in the modern age. I'm grateful for little things that people who came before us maybe didn't have, like food in a refrigerator and the choice of what kind of bread that we complain about. And I'm grateful for you for showing up today for another episode of Coin Story. And let's all be grateful that our straw is in the barn instead of on the table. And remember, every coin has a life and story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Welcome to Coin Story. I'm Pete. Coin Story focuses on the history of a single coin. Coins move through the ages from hand to hand and from decade to century. These coins represent the work and culture of the people that own them. Every coin has a story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Take a little time out of your day and join me for a walk back in time. Every coin has a life, and each coin tells a story.